Hey people, welcome to the Run Test. It's Kieran here, and in a few days I'm going to be heading off to take on the running challenge of a lifetime. Some people think it's absolutely crazy. I'm starting to feel like it is myself. I'm going to attempt to run the Danube River in Europe from sea to source. It's 2,000 miles. I've got 70 days. It's about a marathon a day for 70 days. I'm going to cross through 8 countries. I'm going to go through 4 capital cities. I'm carrying everything to be self-sufficient on my back, although I will be sort of staying in campsites and hoping that some people might give me a bed along the way. Some days I'm going to run more than a marathon, some days I'm going to run less. The longest is going to be about 49, 50 miles. The shortest might be about 16 or 17. No rest days built in. To get through all of that, I'm going to need to fuel right. And this video is about what I'm going to take and what my strategy is going to be to try and get enough calories in, get enough nutrients in to conquer the Danube from sea to source. So there's a couple of key things to factor in here when I'm talking about how I'm going to fuel this run. The first is that I'm treating the running sections, the times that I kind of fuel for the run, sort of separately to my kind of all other kind of nutritional needs. Most of the latter, I'm going to have to find food for dinner, and all that kind of stuff from shops and from supermarkets and from, petrol stations and from wherever I can. For the running bit, I'm going to try and set myself up for the day with a brilliant foundation, a nutritional foundation with the right kind of breakfast. And then I've got some of the running fuel that I like to eat along the way. I won't be able to carry enough though for every single run all the way. It gets too heavy. I've got to keep the weight in the pack down below 8 kilos, otherwise it's too much. So the fuel that I've got here isn't going to cover the entire run. I'm also going to have to supplement the running bit by wandering into shops and fuel stations and what have you to try and pick up whatever I can. Haribos, chocolate bars, cans of fizzy drink, things I wouldn't normally personally eat that much, but I'm going to have to, needs must and all of that. I've then got a bit of a strategy for kind of recovery, which I am taking, and some key essentials that are going to help give me the kind of nutritional foundations to sort of help me get through it. I've also got to factor in hydration here. It's going to be potentially upwards of 30 degrees Celsius, maybe up to 35. It may get worse than that, and I'm going to be running sometimes through long hot days, so hydration is going to be absolutely critical. So I can only take what I can carry. The rest of it I'm going to have to forage. I'm definitely going to be sort of chance that I'm going to be in a calorie deficit, and I can only have some of the running fuel that I would normally take. But without further ado, I'm going to walk you through exactly what my day-to-day strategy is going to be. So I'm going to be bivvying, camping outside, face under the stars. I'm going to wake up very early in the morning. I'm going to get moving as quickly as possible to try and beat the heat of the day. So we're talking about kind of dawn, basically 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I will get moving. Before I do that, I've taken some of these. These are 33 Elite Meal Replacement Shakes. Now, essentially what these are a mix of 33 mainly kind of superfood natural ingredients. I'll give you a kind of example of what's in here. We've got organic pumpkin protein, organic sunflower protein, we've got flax seeds, we've got alfalfa seeds, organic almonds, there's coconut, there's some oats in here, or gluten-free oats, there's carob, there's raw cacao, goji berries, walnuts. It's basically just a list of really, really good stuff that not only provides energy, not only provides protein, but also provides an awful big hit of really good nutrients. It's a platform basically for the day ahead. It's also really, really convenient. It's lightweight, so it folds down as well. I can rip this off, pour water in here, mash it up, and then basically swig it out of the packet so I don't have to worry about my bottles. But what I will do is decant this probably into one of my drinking bottles, and then I'll eat it out of there as I go. I'm also going to supplement that maybe with something that I might find a bit further down the line on the run, so some extra kind of carbs in the morning for a bit of a hit. But I've also got one other thing. I've taken some of this. This is the Ultimate Daily Greens from 33 Fuel as well, and this is a mix of plant-based kind of greens basically. So in here what you've got is pea protein, you've got organic wheatgrass, you've got organic cinnamon, barley grass, you've got chlorella, spirulina, kale, broccoli and spinach. So again, a really good hit of really good nutritional value in here, and it tastes great. The good thing about this, some of those kind of daily greens, they don't taste so good, but the cinnamon in this is like kind of the key. It's actually really nice. So this again is a really good foundational thing. It gives my body something to start the day on every single day that is really good solid fuel. And what I've done is I've mixed that with something that I was recommended by a personal trainer called Mark Roper, who I met at the London Landmarks Half when we were doing our run review of that. And this is a performance amino work capacity. This is basically full spectrum amino acids. Now, again, amino acids, why is that important? These are the building blocks basically for muscle repair and all of that kind of stuff. And just taking this kind of stuff that I might not be able to get from my regular kind of diet whilst I'm out there, if I'm eating essentially junk out of petrol stations, this, from one scoop of this, can solve a lot of those problems for me. So what I've done here, I've mixed up a bit of the daily greens and a bit of the amino acids into a little pouch, vacuum sealed it. You're not going on an adventure unless you've got your vacuum sealer out, guys, for make it compact and to save weight from packaging. And each of them comes with its own little message. This one says 1 mile at a time, to give me a little pep every morning. So in the morning, that's what I've got to look forward to before I run. Psychologically, physically, nutritionally, I kind of start on the right sort of footing every single day. That is going to be my ritual for that. So once I'm moving, I've got a few other key fuels that I've tried and tested that I love. I know I like to eat them, and these will be my go-tos. I have this. These are Precision Fuel and Hydration Chews. This one's a mint and lemon. There is a neutral flavour as well. But for that tiny little cube there, you get 30 grams of carbs in each of those. I will pack 3 of those in my pocket for every single day, and I'll have those along the way. I'm also going to take a couple of these for the week. These are the 90 gram pouches. They're gel pouches. So you can see it's kind of quite a liquidy sort of, not liquid, but it's quite a sort of soft, loose gel. But the main thing about this is it's got a resealable cap. I can take a couple of these, and if I don't use everything in one day, I can reseal it, whack it back in my pack. Whereas with the gel, if you only take half a gel, or you feel like you have to take the whole gel because you don't want to have a sticky gel pack in your pack, this means that I can spread that kind of energy source over a few days if I need to. Chances are that I'm going to eat them all, but it gives me that option. The other thing that I've got here is, and I'm going to take these very sparingly, it's another Precision Fuel and Hydration product. This is 30 gram gel, nice and compact, nice and small, but this one has 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. There are going to be a few times when I know that I'm going to be making decisions about directions. I'm going to need a pep. I might need a kick up the bum to get going in the morning. I might be running late in the day and I need something just to give me an extra sort of few hours or whatever, you know, just need something to keep me moving to the next point. And that is when I'm going to use these. I will use them very sparingly because I'm not taking very many of them. The other thing I have, and this is just a tried and tested favourite of mine, and this will be my treat. I'm probably only going to take maybe a dozen of these across the entire 70 days. And this is the Vala Energy Gel. It's a big favourite of mine. It's made from natural ingredients. It's basically got 5 or 6 ingredients. It's got maple syrup, date paste, lemon juice, lime juice. It's got some chia seeds, matcha tea powder, and some sea salt. And all natural, absolutely delicious. Something I always look forward to eating on the move. And that will be my treat. For when I'm having a really low moment, I need to reach for something to pep me up. This Vala Gel is going to be it. So a few of those in the pack as well. Now let's talk about hydration. Really important. It's going to be hot. I'm going to be sweating a lot, carrying a lot of weight on my back, and I need to hydrate properly. And that's kind of before and after the run. So I've got 2 things here. I'm going to be taking some of these. These are fizzy tabs, essentially effervescent tabs with different levels of sodium. These are from Precision Fuel and Hydration as well. I'm going to take, in each sort of 7-day pack that I'm carrying, I'm going to take 2 tubes of the 1500 and 2 tubes of the 1000 sodium level tabs. The 1500s I will use in my bottle in the morning with my breakfast, so before, and then I'll have one after as I'm recovering in the evening. The 1000s I will use in my bottles as I run. I have 1 bottle of water on my pack that's just water, and I have 1 which has these fizzy tabs in, and that will be the way that I keep my kind of sodium and electrolyte levels up. I did the sweat test with Precision Fuel and Hydration in real life, and I came back and I'm kind of like a low to medium salty sweater, and my sweat rate's not crazy. So this will be sufficient for me to tick along. And those are, again, nice, and they sort of fit quite nicely in a certain part of the pack. So they're very, very stashable. So then once I've done the running and it's all done, immediately afterwards, I'm going to have to try and reach for something to sort of boost my recovery quickly. I'll obviously try and get in as much food as I can from wherever I can and eat kind of a good diet after, but I can't guarantee that. So I'm going to be taking some of these. These are Vela Forte, Vita and Nova protein shakes, recovery shakes. One's banana and cocoa, one is raspberry and acai. And yeah, I mean, these have got 13 grams of protein in them, in the 3-to-1 ratio of carbs to protein that you need to kind of speed the uptake of those kind of nutrients that you need for rebuild and recovery. In this one, there's 3 grams of branched chain amino acids as well. And in this one, you've got 2 grams of branched chain amino acids to help support. They're natural, they are very, very delicious. And again, they're pretty sort of lightweight and they're nice and packable. And they come in these kind of pretty resilient foil packs that mean that I can sort of rely on them not to burst and break and go all over my stuff in the pack. Those will just be mixed with 300 mils of water and away I will go. And then beyond all of that I'm carrying, I am going to forage for food from wherever I can, hoping to find kind of nice places to eat. I got given some really good solid advice from the Precision Fuel and Hydration guys about how to approach this. Rule number 1, they said, no unidentified meat or no unidentifiable meat. That seems like a pretty good rule to me. Second rule, avoid salads and those things that you don't know how it's been washed. Again, the key here really with all these things is to try and avoid getting any crazy kind of stomach upsets that knock you out for a day. Diarrhea, all of that stuff will be bad if I'm trying to run a long way. So the third rule of that is to, your safest bet is to look for stuff that's kind of packaged food. Although that's not normally the way that I would operate, not normally what I would eat. That is going to be quite key to sort of limiting my risk of getting anything nasty in terms of bugs and what have you. So things like tins of tuna I'll go for kind of things like avocados actually, if I can pick up avocados along the way. They come in their own wrapper, bananas, some of those kind of natural sort of good things that you know are pretty safe to eat. And yeah, I can foresee in my future many, many supermarket dinners where I'm going in, picking up a baguette and whatever else I can find, a bit of meat, a bit of identifiable meat. So there you have it. That has been my whip through the fueling options that I am going to take for the Danube Sea to Source run. All of these are fantastic options if you're going kind of a multi-day adventures and you want to pack light and compact, get the biggest bang for buck in terms of nutrition, energy levels, recovery, all of those things. These, I've used them in the desert at the Marathon des Sables, some of them. I've used them all in kind of multi-day adventures and they fit nice in the pack and they just deliver on taste, I think mentally, psychologically and everything else. So these are options that I would totally recommend that you check out and have a look at. Try and test in your training if you're going to do something like this. Many of them will also work if you're just doing a regular marathon or you just want to build them into your kind of daily training habits as well. One thing I'm going to do is keep a record of what I eat on some of the days and we'll calculate the numbers about my calorie burn and what my calorie consumption is from some of the longer days and shorter days, and the guys at Precision Fuel and Hydration are going to crunch those numbers and let me know kind of how I stack up. So we're going to do a bit of a nutritional deep dive that we'll bring to you later on the channel about how all this goes. Also, probably some of the chocolate bars and the random things that I find along the way, I'll bring it to the channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell to get kind of notified when those videos are going to hit. If you have any questions about any of this stuff or about my trip, hit me up in the comments below. I'll endeavour to answer them. You can follow the journey. There'll be links in the caption below so you can check out where the route is, how you might support me or join me, all of those things. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've been Kieran. This will be probably one of my last little videos on the Run Testers for a little while that isn't coming at you from the Danube. So over and out for now.